My best friend announced she's pregnant, and it might be my husband's, but I don't blame them. That's because I had a secret of my own that only my best friend Lola knew about. You see, I had a miscarriage 3 years ago. My husband never knew I'd gotten pregnant because the week I found out was the week I lost the baby. I was devastated and blamed myself, but I was happy knowing I at least had my best friend. For weeks, she comforted me, telling me everything was going to be okay, but it wasn't okay. The miscarriage broke something in me. Every time I thought about getting pregnant again, I felt this overwhelming fear. What if it happened again? What if I couldn't handle losing another baby? So when my husband started talking about raising kids together, I came up with excuses. I'd say I wasn't ready. Let's wait until we're more financially stable. The hope in his eyes faded with every excuse I made, and I felt terrible, but I couldn't tell him the truth. I didn't want him to hurt the way I did. Until last month, when he sat me down on the couch and asked directly if I even wanted to have kids with him, I frowned. You know I do. It's just, I'm so close to getting that promotion, and there's always going to be an excuse, isn't there? He cut me off and looked at me with a hurt expression. Sometimes I feel like you don't want a future with me at all. My chest squeezed painfully. I should have told him the truth right then. Instead, I just sat in silence. He waited for me to say something, anything. When I didn't, he grabbed his keys and left. He became more distant after, always out, barely coming home, always saying that he needed to drive around and think, and I believed him. I gave him the space he needed until I started noticing things. He started dressing up nicer than before, like he was going on a date and not hanging out with friends. His phone bill was racking up hours and hours of calls and texts to an unknown caller. His credit card showed he was constantly buying flowers and gifts that he never once brought home, not even for our anniversary. And when I saw the long blonde hair on his jacket, I knew for sure he was cheating on me. I just didn't know with whom until last week. I decided to follow him. He said he was going to the gym, but I watched him get in his car and drive the opposite direction, all the way to a nice restaurant downtown. I parked across the street and watched him go inside. Through the window, I saw her, my best friend Lola, sitting across from my husband. She giggled while he pressed kisses on her hand, the same way he used to do with me when we started dating. I took photos on my phone and cried for a couple of minutes in the car, heartbroken and unable to process what I'd just seen. When I got home, I was angry and hurt and guilty, thinking my lie forced my husband to have an affair. But with my best friend, the girl who patted my back during my miscarriage, the person I trusted the most in the world, other things started coming together. The days where both Lola and my husband didn't respond to my calls. The days I was sure I'd seen her phone light up with a text from my husband's number saying, "Missing you already." All those late nights and suspicious excuses, all while Lola told me not to worry about my husband, to give him space, and that everything would be all right. She'd been backstabbing me. Both of them were backstabbing me. I spent 2 days thinking about how to confront them. Then my phone rang. It was Lola. "I have amazing news," she said. She sounded giddy. "Can I come over?" That's when everything came crumbling down, hard. Lola showed up 20 minutes later with a bottle of champagne. My husband stared at her with a pale face, clearly confused about why she was here. "It's great to have friends around," she said, walking into the kitchen to grab 2 champagne flutes, one for me and one for my husband. My husband looked at the glasses. "You brought over champagne and you're not drinking?" he asked. She flashed a huge grin. "I can't drink anymore," she said, "because I'm pregnant." My husband and I froze. "Who's the father?" I asked anxiously, even though I knew the answer. Lola's smile faltered for just a second. Then she looked directly at my husband, took his hand and said in a happy tone, "I'm sorry you had to find out this way." My husband pulled his hand back, staring at us with wide eyes. "It can't be mine," he said in a shaking voice. I wanted to know why we haven't had kids yet after being married for 3 years, so I went to a clinic and got tested. I got the results last week." He took a deep breath. "I'm infertile. I can't have children." The room went silent. Lola's face went from confused to panicked, then back to confused when she looked up at me. "Wait, if your husband's infertile, then how did you get pregnant and miscarry 3 years ago?" The secret was out. Full story on channel linked below.